To all of my beautiful crown heads, I apologize once again for being late. Um, I didn't plan on going live, but when things come up and it's on my heart and in my mind, I have to share it with you guys. I was also going through this dispute. Somebody put a copyright claim on my video from last night, talking about I used their music, and I don't even use music in my video, so I don't know what the hell that was about. But it's all good. I want to welcome you all to our dope discussion of today. And again, I apologize for being a little bit late. I know this was random, so I didn't give you guys much of a notice. So I do appreciate whoever does show up for this discussion. Let's talk about some things. And again, it may very well be uncomfortable. I may very well ruffle a lot of feathers and piss a lot of women off. But it is what it is. I feel like it needs to be said. It needs to be discussed. Somebody has to do it. I see so far we have 46 crown heads in the building. And again, thank you guys. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. It's this whole ordeal going on that I guess took place or transpired yesterday with, I don't know if she's a comedian or a rapper or singer or actress, or whoever she is, B.SIMONE. And B.SIMONE basically said, in her interview with Nick Cannon, that she prefers an entrepreneur type of man, right? She doesn't want a man that works a 9 to 5, a man that punches a clock, a man that works. She wants a hustler. She wants a businessman, an entrepreneur, a CEO. And those things are great. Those things are wonderful. It's nothing wrong with you having a preference as far as what you are looking for in a man or a woman for that matter. However, I feel as though when we make such claims like that, we have to be very careful and mindful with how we articulate that. That way we are not being dismissive or how can I say this? I can't help it. Or shitting on the next man or the next woman in the process. For instance, you can have a preference of dating a woman that is a black woman. Okay, for instance, you prefer to date black women. That's a beautiful thing, nothing wrong with that. But with you having your preference for dating black women, that does not mean that you should shit on other races of women in the process. And a lot of us do that. We don't make it be known or let it be known that, hey, there's nothing wrong with that over there, but I prefer this. You know what I mean? And I feel like we should be a lot more careful and mindful when we are discussing our preferences. That way we're not shitting on other people in the process of us stating what we like and what we look for. All right. Another thing as well that I felt is a little problematic, especially in regards to black women. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it out there, especially in regards to black women and us stating what we want and what we look for in a man as far as these qualifications and things of that nature. We try to pattern ourselves after these other races of women, okay, that are telling us that we should go after this type of man and have this type of man and do this type of thing. But then they're turning around and they're doing the complete opposite of what they are displaying to you. So they're out here telling you that you should be an independent woman and, a man should take care of you and this, that, and the third. But the side of that spectrum that they're not showing is that they are submissive women. They don't back talk and they don't put down their men. They don't step on his toes. They don't try to be the man in the relationship. But they're telling us that we should do those types of things, or they're displaying that they're doing these types of things, but behind closed doors, they're doing none of that. Because if they did, they wouldn't have the type of men that they have. Now, there are instances where there are women out there that are telling you that, hey, you can treat a man like this, and you can talk to a man like this, and you can do this, and you can do that, and you can have this caliber of man, and this, that, and the third. But the part that they're not showcasing, okay, is that they are dealing with weak ass dudes. And a lot of us black women, we don't want a weak ass man. Okay, we don't want a man that we can talk badly to and walk all over. We like our men to have a little bit of oomph and backbone to them. Okay, so again, we have to be careful with that. Sisters, my queens, I am you. So don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this conversation the wrong way. I just feel like we just have to really be mindful and careful about the things that we do deem to be these qualifications for a man to have in order to deem him worthy of being with. Because a lot of the things that we are looking for, we're basing it upon what other women are telling us that we should base them off of, and it's not realistic and conducive to who we are and what we're dealing with, right? And when we are having these high standards, quote unquote, which I have to ask us, especially for my sisters, because we are the ones that are trying to look for certain types of men out there, okay? We have to ask ourselves, are we really looking for men that meet certain qualifications as far as, having these high caliber men and having these high expectations and things of that nature? Or are we really being short-sighted with these kinds of qualifications? And are we being unrealistic? Because again, we're being fed the facades of shit, queens. We're being fed the facade of shit. Let's just be real. 177 of us, y'all like the video, share the video, and subscribe. I appreciate the donations. Don't think I'm taking it for granted. I thank you guys so much. I just want to get through what I'm getting through. See, these other races of women, with all due respect, I respect everybody, right? But just to be real, there are certain things that other women can get away with that us sisters, we just can't get away with. When a Latina woman has an attitude and is being abrasive and aggressive, she's sexy and feisty. Queen, you do that, you a bitter black woman. You got an attitude. When white women are having a spoiled brat moment, it's cute. Queen, you had that moment, they looking at you like, you selfish bitch. You know what I mean? And that's not just in regards to dealing with black men, which is another aspect of this conversation that we need to have. a lot of us get our pennies in a bunch and say things like, well, black men are the ones that are having those double standards because they look at the Latina women and that's cute to them, and they look at the white women and that's cute to them, and we can't do that. Y'all are completely neglecting the fact that all men are looking at y'all the exact same way, if not worse. So it has nothing to do with that. White men are looking at y'all as well like, oh, she's just a selfish little angry black girl. I can't deal with that. But another race of woman, they'll put up with it. It's everybody. And again, this is uncomfortable. These are uncomfortable, real-ass conversations that we have right here on Danica Marie Dope Discussions. If I offend you, I'm sorry. Unsubscribe if you want to. Hit the dislike button. I don't know. I don't care. But I have to be real and speak truth. So, especially in regards to my sisters, we really have to be careful about who we are trying to pattern ourselves after, especially in regards to pursuing relationships. We can't do what they do and get away with it. And so they're teaching us not to have high standards, because having high standards is okay. It's okay to have a preference. It's okay to want certain things. Totally fine. But what a lot of us are being warped into doing is not having high standards, but instead being surface level, shallow, short-sighted, and unfucking realistic. And so we feel like, oh, it's since she doing it and she doing it, I can do it too. I should do it too. No. Because what are they teaching you? Again, they can get away with that type of shit. Let's just be real. And this goes for black men and black women. Certain things we can't get away with. Certain things we can't do. We have to be 10 times better. Or we get passed up. We get overlooked. So while you're thinking that, hey, I'm just leveling up and I'm just, having high standards because I deserve this, third, and the third, you're really just being unrealistic, short-sighted, and shallow. You're looking at them and saying, well, they have men that take care of them and spoil them and got all of this money and blah, 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 and this, that, and the third. And you're like, well, I want that too. But Queen, they're not telling you what they have to do to get that. They're not really being honest with you because you are their competition as well. Can we talk real tonight? I'm sorry, this afternoon? I ain't used to going live this early. This is very random. And I see we had 235 of us. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You are their competition too, so they will give you the wrong game. Y'all want to talk about that though. And again, this is not to start any race wars, okay, or make white people or Latina people or any other race of people feel uncomfortable and you feel like I'm a racist or I'm prejudiced or none of that. I'm just being real, and a lot of y'all don't want to hear that. But let's just be real, queens. You are their competition. You are a beautiful piece of work of art. We powerful and beautiful as fuck out here, black women. So, yeah, I'm going to tell you to disrespect your man. Yeah, I'm going to tell you that you don't have to tolerate that and you should be competing with your man. Yeah, I'm going to tell you to leave those 9-to-5 working ass dudes alone and go get you a CEO. Leave them broke ass dudes alone and go get you a rich, wealthy man. And again, ain't nothing wrong with leaving those broke, dusty men alone, okay? Especially if he ain't trying to do better. All right, let's put that out there first and foremost, Okay, because I don't disagree with that. Because nah, we ain't having nobody that's struggling and ain't trying to do better. No, they gonna take you down too. Okay, but they're teaching you to be very shallow, and they're teaching you the wrong things so that you can do those wrong things, and then they can get the men that will essentially be turned off by you. So in your face, they're telling you, or showing you rather, I do this and I'm just this and I'm a little princess and he treats me like this and I fly out here and he does this for me and he pays for that and I don't have to work and I don't have to do this and I don't have to do that. And so you're like, well, damn, I need to get like her. But she's not showing you that behind the scenes, she ain't nothing like what she's telling you to be like. And so now we have it in our minds, queens, that we have to embody certain characteristics and qualities and traits that they possess on the surface. But again, that's not what they're doing behind the scenes. They're respecting their men, loving them. They cooking, they cleaning, giving great sex, respectful, nurturing, submissive as a motherfucker. They doing all of that behind the scenes, but in your face, I'm independent. He bows down to me. No, she bowing down to him too. In more ways than one, but she ain't telling you that. And so we get it warped in our mind that, hey, I can do that too. They doing it. And shit, I'm better than she is. Because again, we some queens out here. We know who the fuck we are. And if she can do it, I know damn well I can do that. But again, she's not displaying her true nature behind closed doors when dealing with her man. Okay? Let's put that over to the side. Let's get into this whole B.SIMONE dialogue. Because I feel like there was nothing wrong with what the queen said. It's nothing wrong with preferring a man that is a business owner over a guy that works a 9 to 5 or punches the clock or what have you. That's her preference. Can't be mad at that. And I saw a lot of men were upset about that. Even women as well. They were upset like, she thinks she's too good now and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, I just think that's just her preference. The only thing I felt like she could have done better was maybe dive more into the fact that there's nothing wrong with a man having a 9 to 5. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you punching the clock. Do you, But I just would prefer this, right? And she did. I saw she did go back and clarify that's what she meant. But that's what we need to be careful about when we are, stating certain things as far as our preferences the first time. Okay, when we first go into some things, as far as people asking us what we're looking for in a significant other, say I'm looking for this, that, and the third, and then just kind of clarify, that hey, that's just me though. That's just what I prefer. I don't mind other people having different, preferences and things of that nature, but it's not conducive to my lifestyle and what I want, and that's fine. But another layer to the whole B.SIMONE conversation is the fact that, again, it's kind of teaching women, okay, that you should be shallow in a sense and short-sighted, and most importantly, short-sighted, because let's break it down here. You can have a man that is a CEO, an entrepreneur, and all of those great things. And he can still not be what you need in a man. You know what I mean? So now, instead of looking at that man over there that may punch a clock, he may work a 9 to 5, He may have a salary. He may be a salary worker. Instead of looking at him and he's everything that you need in a man, you're passing him up for the dude who's not that good for you, but because he checks off this one thing on your list that you feel like you need in a man as far as being an entrepreneur or a CEO or a businessman, you're going to pass him up that may be a salary worker or an hourly worker or a 9-to-5 worker for him, and he's no good for you. And I feel like that's the part of the conversation that more women need to have. 308 of us in the building. Y'all like, share, comment, and subscribe, y'all. Y'all know YouTube is hating on me. They already put a damn copyright on my video. I'm like, I don't even have music in my video. So y'all help me out, okay? I had to dispute the hell out of that. Made me late for my video today. But you know, we have to go deeper into these conversations when we are telling women to level up and have these high standards and have these high expectations and have these qualities and specifications to look for. Because like I said, a lot of it, when you boil it down, it's not even that y'all have high standards. Y'all have shallow ass standards. And honestly, I don't know who the fuck is going to reach that. And half of the time, the women can't even reach what they're requiring. So again, that ties back into that whole hypocritical energy. You know, we can't be out here saying, I want this, that, and the third, but you're not trying to do this, that, and the third to acquire that type of man. Just like how they're showing us that, you know, you should have a high caliber man that can fly you out and buy you this and have this kind of money. You shouldn't have to work. All you got to do is be cute. All you got to do is take vacations and blah, blah, blah. And then you're going out here trying to do what they're telling you that you need to do and what you need to have in a man, but they're not showing and telling you what you need to do as a woman to obtain that type of man. Again, it's that trickery. Unless, again, you want to deal with a weak pushover type of dude. If that's the case, then cool. It's a lot of simp-ass wealthy men out here that you can have too. But that's what I'm talking about. That's the conversation that we need to have. Because, again, you can have a man that has a business. He's a CEO. He's very wealthy. He's very rich. But he ain't what you need. He's not that real strong, masculine, powerful, wise, intellectual, nurturing type of energy that you need. That leadership. He don't possess none of that, but because he's a CEO or he has his own business and maybe his hours are more flexible and he can, you know, do this, that, and the third, you neglect all of that. That's a problem. We have to stop that. We have to teach women better so that we can not only have these quote unquote high standards, because again, there's nothing wrong with having high standards. It's just the fact that those standards have to be substantial. They have to be realistic. Because let's just be real, it ain't a lot of CEOs that we running into every day. And so what are you going to do? Are you just going to keep passing up dudes after dudes after dudes, or man after man after man, and he's a good high caliber man, but because he's not a CEO, you're going to pass him up? No, we have to stop teaching women that a man needs to possess these qualities. As far as the surface value things, he needs to drive this kind of car. He needs to have this kind of money. He needs to have this kind of social status. He needs to have this type of title to himself. He has to have this type of degree. He has to have, you know, all of these things. But then we're neglecting what kind of character that man has. What is his mindset like? How does he treat you? That's very fucking important, ladies. Very important. And again, thank you for the memberships and the donations, the comments. Thank you. I'm not taking it for granted. Fright Management says, why is having a 9-to-5 okay? Why isn't it okay? If everybody out here said, fuck a 9-to-5, how would we, as entrepreneurs, as CEOs, how would we build our businesses? It's needed. We have employees. A lot of us, we try to be businessmen and businesswomen. What did everybody say? Fuck that, I ain't working for nobody. Fuck that, I ain't working. We wouldn't be able to expand and grow to the capacity that we would want to. If everybody was, just saying, fuck a 9 to 5, I ain't working for nobody, I ain't clocking in. It's needed, and it's okay. Not everybody wants to own anything. Not everybody wants to be a business, savvy person. Some people just prefer to clock in and come home, and I ain't got to worry about building nothing. I don't got to worry about, managing books. I don't got to worry about taxes, and, they don't want to do all of that. Bookkeeping, they don't want to do all of that, and that's okay. It's needed. It's all needed. We need the janitor. Very much so important. We need the garbage men. Very much so important. We need the mail carriers. Very much so important. Hell, we even need the fast food workers. You know what I mean? So it's needed. And I feel like a lot of us can be very short-sighted. I feel like that's the main thing. We can be very short-sighted in our so-called high standards and in our so-called preferences. We're not really looking for things of real quality and substance, right? So we have these women out here telling us, make sure he drives this kind of car, make sure that he has this type of money, make sure you don't have to work, make sure that he can pay for this and buy that and do all of those extravagant things, which is fine. If that's what you're looking for in a man, cool. But make sure that's not the end all be all to your fucking list. Because a man can have all of that and treat you like shit. I see it. I see the millionaires treat you like a fucking pet that they want to, have fun with for the time being and then discard your ass. And then I see the 9 to 5 worker treat you like a fucking queen. So I feel like we need to go deeper when we talk about having these qualifications and these standards, bro. And I know in the beginning I may have, went a little bit too deep and I probably offended y'all, but that's just the truth. We can't do certain things. We can't do the same shit. Especially as Black women. Now, generally speaking, all women, we need to do better as far as these qualifications and these standards and these lists, especially if we cannot measure up to it, and especially if we're not diving deeper. If all you're going to base your list or your qualifications off of, as far as what is a quality and high caliber man, is off of monetary value and material possessions, you have a lot of work to do, not only mentally, but emotionally. Because something within you is off. You should not be so fucking surface level to the point where you're neglecting and not paying attention to other characteristics and personality traits that man has. Another reason why I feel like B.SIMONE's statement, I guess, of saying how she prefers a entrepreneur type of man over a 9 to 5, is the fact that 9 to 5 man could very well be working towards becoming an entrepreneur. But because at that time he was punching the clock or what have you, you passed him up, and that was probably your fucking husband. And a lot of us women do that, especially Black women. We have to stop that. And they have us in this mindset of, oh, we don't build with no men. Fuck that. All they gonna do is leave us anyway. Yeah, if you're dealing with a low budget ass dude, and again, we should have a little bit more wisdom and insight and use our intuition, okay? Peep game on how motherfuckers maneuver, because a lot of them will show their hand before they show their hand. We just ignore the signs, thinking that, oh, that ain't a big deal. Yeah, that ain't, nah, he wouldn't do that to me. Nah. He did that to you, sis. Stop ignoring the signs when they're in your face because you just want a man so badly that you're willing to overlook that. No, that was a red flag, sis, back then. But you didn't peep that game. You didn't want to peep that game. You saw it. You saw it then. Just the same as you can find a man and maybe he is a 9-to-5 worker, but you can see that, hey, he's doing pretty well with this 9-to-5, and I see how he's divvying up his time with pouring back into his business. You know, I like that. I like how he's trying to build his business with this 9-to-5. I feel like that's a good quality man. I feel like I can work with that. I like how he's maneuvering. I'm peeping game on that back then. Same with my husband. My husband, when I met him, he was a college guy, okay? He was in college, came home, didn't have a job when he came home, but I knew what type of man he was based upon how he was maneuvering with what little that he did have. Came home, worked at fucking Target, okay? Making what, $8, $9? But I saw what he was doing with that $8, $9. And I stuck by that man because he was taking care of home off $9. You know what I'm saying? That's me peeping game, not being short-sighted, saying, oh, he only made $9, fuck him. Because they told me that's a low-budget nigga, I don't fuck with them. He punch a clock. Ew. He works at Target, throwing boxes and loading. Hell no. My standards is this. But because you are short-sighted, you missed out on your fucking husband. My husband made $8 when I met him, but he was taking care of home. And I appreciated that. I respected that. Got a new job, working at the bank. Went up to $10, maybe. I think it was like $10, $11. Not shit. But again, it's about what that man is doing with what the fuck he has. How that man is maneuvering what he has. Not just basing it upon a fucking dollar amount or a social status. How does he treat you? What is he doing for you? Is he leveling you up? Because if he's doing that off $8, $9, $10, $11 an hour, punching the fucking clock, imagine what he's going to do for you when he's where he wants to be and where he needs to be. Stop being short-sighted, especially black women. We got to stop that. Because why? We can't do what they do. And what they're showing you that they're doing, they're not even really doing. They're building with the man that was punching the clock too. He just happened to have a big break, but they ain't showing you that. They just showing you that, hey, my man is a millionaire, and they ain't showing you how they was helping that man out and building with him to get him to the level that he's at, though. Then my husband got a promotion at a new job, making really good money. And I'm going to just leave it at that. But even with him making a really good money, he still had a vision to have his own, to be that entrepreneurial type of energy. Now he has his own gym. So what would have happened if I was in that B.SIMONE type of mind frame back then, neglecting the fact of what he was showing and proving to me, but he don't meet this standard. This standard that I have right now, right here, is you need to be an entrepreneur and you need to be making X amount of money. But B.SIMONE, to her defense, she didn't say that she wanted a man that was rich. You know, she just said that she would prefer a man that didn't punch a clock, which is fine. But I feel like we need to go deeper. I'm just using that as a reference to have a deeper conversation. Again, I didn't disagree with what B.SIMONE said. That's her preference. Nothing wrong with that. I just feel like we need to take this conversation a little bit further. Okay? Men, y'all have y'all preferences too. You know? Y'all want a woman that got a nice body and she gotta be this and she gotta be that. Nothing wrong with that. That's your fucking preference, bro. Go get it. I ain't mad at it. Just as long as you're not tearing somebody else down in the process. Don't say, oh, I like a woman with long hair and she gotta have a small waist because I don't like them bald-headed hoes. Them bald-headed hoes ugly and I don't like no fat bitch. Don't do that. Don't do that. Or don't say, well, I like light-skinned women. You know, because light-skinned women, you know, they just look better. Don't do that. You like light-skinned women, fine. But don't tear somebody else down in the process. And I personally feel like it's kind of tacky to even be voicing your preferences like that. Unless somebody directly asks you, like, hey, what do you look for in a, you know, then maybe. But again, I feel like that conversation should be more along the lines of what kind of qualities they possess as far as their personality and their mind. Why are our standards so surface level? Oh, you gotta have this kind of money. He gotta drive this kind of car. She gotta have this kind of body. He gotta have this kind of house. She gotta have it. Like, why it has to be that? Let's go deeper than that, because if that person doesn't make you feel good or honor you or respect you, it don't mean nothing. It's gonna be bound to fail. But let's go back to the whole B.SIMONE thing. We have to be very careful and mindful about our standards and make sure that we're not being shallow-minded and short-sighted. Because B.SIMONE and women that are like her, you may very well miss out on the man of your dreams because your standards were not realistic. Yes, B.SIMONE and women like her, you can very well manifest an entrepreneur husband. And I know B.SIMONE is really big on manifestation. I am too. I've manifested a whole lot. You can't tell me I ain't fucking powerful. You know, and I know all of us are powerful. We just have to tap into our divinity and our power. I'm very big on manifestation. So yes, you can manifest all you want, but be mindful and pay attention, because like I said, you could have found your entrepreneurial husband, B.SIMONE and women like her, but you passed him up because he was not in the final stage. Let that soak in. That's the part of being realistic that I feel ties into the whole B.SIMONE situation. Like, yes, it would be amazing if you were to find an entrepreneurial husband and he made X amount of dollars and he had very successful businesses and all of that, and you didn't have to do anything, or, you know. But being realistic, how many of us is going to run into that on the daily? If you B.SIMONE, you might. Okay, you might, because who knows what kind of social circle she runs around in. Maybe. But see, with these celebrity women and celebrity men and all of that, we have to be careful because again, we can't do what they do. We don't have the same access that they have. You know what I mean? It all goes back into being mindful of who you're trying to pattern yourself after and being realistic with the shit. And seeing through the smoke and mirrors. Because again, they're not showing you everything. They're not showing you everything. 480 of us were in the building. Now we're down to 466. Y'all like the video. Share the video and subscribe. We got people popping in and out, and I appreciate y'all. And I see a lot of y'all are staying, so I appreciate that. This conversation is very much so important. And it needs to go deeper, but I'm trying not to talk too damn long or too much because I know they probably like, oh, this video. Y'all know YouTube be hating, so like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Being realistic. You may manifest your husband or that's an entrepreneur that makes X amount of dollars, but he may not be in that final form. He may not be in that final stage. But because he wasn't in that final stage, you missed out. Manifesting, it works that way. It may look like a lost cause, like, man, I ain't finding nobody. I ain't doing that. Ain't nothing working for me. I keep trying to manifest. I keep praying. Praying is a form of manifestation. You know, a lot of y'all don't understand that, but that's another story. All of that. I keep doing this and it ain't working. It ain't working, but it is working. You're just not taking heed to the signs. You're being short-sighted. That man over there that was punching the clock was your entrepreneurial husband. But because you were being short-sighted and shallow, very surface level, you didn't peep that game. You passed him up. He would have loved you, honored you, respected you, took care of you. Right, W. Hawkins. They want him when he's complete. We got to be realistic. It's very difficult to find somebody that's already complete in everything that you want. No, sometimes you got to work with that. And see, that's another thing that they're teaching us. They're teaching us to, and I thank you guys so much for the donations and memberships. I miss them, but I do appreciate them, y'all. They're teaching us to have these microwave type of expectations, you know, expect your man to already have everything. You know, we not on that Bob the Builder ass bullshit. I ain't working with no man. I ain't building with no man. What do you think you're gonna have to do if you find that entrepreneurial husband, that businessman that you want, that CEO that you want? You think you're not gonna have to work with him? No, you're still gonna have to work with him. So what are y'all talking about? Again, not being realistic. Don't no man want to be with a woman that's not helping to contribute in any way? That's not helping him to build upon what he already has? No. Thank you, Vaughn, for your donation. He says, I live in St. Louis. Man, it's hard to date for me. I'm in St. Louis too. And honestly, St. Louis off the chain. So I don't know, man. It's a lot of thotty cakes out here too. Shout out to you, Michael, for your donation. I can't see all of them. Hold on. The ones from earlier, they disappeared on my screen. I'm on this StreamYard and it doesn't show me. It disappeared. So thank you, Vaughn, for your donation. I appreciate that. I can see that. And thank you, Michael, for your donation. He says, I love you, Danica. I just wanted to say that you are far from a dime a dozen. Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael. And shout out to you, Mr. Jenkins, for your donation. And anybody else that donated, I can't see it, but I do. I very much so appreciate it. All right. Thank you. Ladies, sometimes you're going to have to build with a man. That's just it is. Sometimes a lot of times you're going to have to do that. And again, I'm not telling you to go pick a broke ass, uninspired, unmotivated, unself-disciplined ass dude who don't have nothing going for him but baby mamas and good dick. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that sometimes you have to work with a man that is striving and showing and proving to you his value and his worth so that he can become what you want out of a man. Same thing for women. You know, sometimes fellas, you may not have the cream of the crop when it comes to the woman that you want or that you envision for yourself. Maybe you wanted a woman with, you know, long hair and, you know, that was thick and all of that. But maybe you got a woman that, you know, had a mini fro and she's skinny as a motherfucker. Sometimes you're just gonna have to, hey, work with what you got. You know, I'm fine with that. We gonna put some coconut oil in that hair, girl, and get it to growing. We gonna feed you a little bit, do some squats, you know, because I like who you are. All right. And that's just a petty ass example. What I'm saying is sometimes you have to mold and build, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, don't try to change anybody. They have to willingly want to be that for themselves. Like if she likes her mini fro, and she like, nigga, no, I like my mini fro. I don't want no long hair. Then that is what it is, and you can either choose to move around or whatever, you know. Or she like, I like being skinny. I ain't trying to get thick. I don't want all of that. Then you know you gonna have to be like, all right, cool, that's fine, I guess, you know, or move around. But a lot of the times we just have to work with what we have because they can be the best thing for us. But we sleeping on it because we're trying to look at other people and what they have, and we're not seeing the process. We're not seeing the journey. 500 of us in the building, y'all like the video. We're not seeing the journey that they had to go through to get to that point. All we seen is the end product, so then we want the end product. I want the finished product. It got to be complete already. He got to already have a successful business. He got to already have all the money. He got to already be the CEO. He got to already... No, it don't work like that. That's not being realistic. That's not having high standards. That's being short-sighted, unrealistic, and shallow. That man that's punching the clock could be your husband that you were looking for, your entrepreneur that you were looking for, but you passed them up. Listening to these women, be careful. Be careful. Because a lot of those women, truth be told, be single as fuck and lonely for a long time, if not forever, wondering why they don't have nobody. Because your high standards are really translating into unrealistic. Nothing wrong with having high standards, but are they realistic? Are they shallow? Do you measure up? Oh, he gotta have this kind of money, drive this kind of car. He gotta have this kind of body. He gotta have good sex. He gotta be packing with this. But sis, what kind of car you got? Sis, what kind of money you making? Sis, what kind of body you got? What kind of sex do you have? What are you going to contribute to that man's life to add value to it? Or are you just out here barking a bunch of unrealistic ass standards? Not high expectations, not high standards, but unrealistic and high. Okay, because again, since you all the way down there, and you ain't even trying to get up there, but yet you want a man that's already up there. Get you a man that takes care of you. Get you a man that can fly you out. Yeah, you can get all of that, but you have to be worth all of that as well. And that's the conversation we don't touch on. We don't touch on that. We don't touch on that. That's a problem. They setting y'all up for the failure. They're not teaching you both aspects, both sides. Yeah, he should be able to take care of you and all of this and all of that, but you got to take care of him too in certain ways. They leaving that conversation out. They leaving that out of the conversation. They ain't telling you nothing that you have to do, but everything that you should expect. That's unrealistic. So, ladies, and I know a lot of y'all are not on my platform, but I got a lot of kings on here, and I'm sure y'all gonna share this video, and some women gonna come across it. I'm gonna say this to my ladies. Stop listening to that bullshit. A lot of the women that y'all are listening to, they lost they damn selves. They don't even have what they are saying that they want and need. Don't listen to a woman that's telling you that, if he don't have this, that, and the third, leave him alone. He ain't shit. He ain't about shit. If he don't fly you out, if he don't have his own business, if he's not a CEO, if you can't be a housewife, fuck him. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to the women that's telling you, I ain't building with no man. He need to. That's the problem now. I built with this man back in the day, and he left me for the next white woman and the Latino woman, because you wasn't. They not telling you they wasn't peeping the signs. He was showing you who he was back then. You just ignore some shit, and that's what y'all don't want to acknowledge. But that's another conversation. But don't listen to that, because they can be setting you up for the same predicaments that they are trying to get out of. The reality of the situation is your husband may not be where you envision for your husband to be. My man gotta have a mansion. He gotta have $1 million. He gotta make this kind of money. He gotta have this, that, and the third. You ain't got that. So therefore, you're not my husband. I didn't manifest you. Who the fuck is this? No, sis. That is your husband. That is the man that you've been manifesting, but he's just not that finished product yet. Sometimes you're gonna have to build with him. And I'm not saying build him, build with. A lot of y'all misconstrue that. I ain't building no man. Nah, don't build nobody. And that goes for men and women. Don't be out here trying to build and make somebody. No, I can build with you. We can both contribute to some shit and make some things pop and prosper. But I ain't never building nobody. Nah, that's something that you need to do for yourself. But we can build together. And the majority of the time, sis, that's what you're gonna have to do. Y'all gonna have to build together. So don't have this short-sighted type of vision to the point where it's clouding you and blocking your blessings, because y'all listening to these women that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They have these unrealistic ass standards, and they're just setting you guys up to have them too. You have to be realistic and know and understand that, okay, yeah, he's not the millionaire husband that I envisioned, but I think I'm gonna give him a chance because he really respects me. He really shows that he's very interested in me. He's very supportive of me. Maybe I should see where this goes with him. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's not the entrepreneur, but I feel like he's a really stand-up guy. I feel like we relate to on a lot of levels to each other. And I like that. It's hard to come by. Let me see what this is about. And that could very well be everything that you're looking for, but because you are being short-sighted, you don't see it. Ladies, stop. You can be blocking your own blessings and don't even know it. He could be the man that you were trying to manifest and you don't even know it because you're listening to women with unrealistic, high-ass standards. That's telling you that don't build with no man. He need to already be the finished product. Don't do that. What if I would have did that? I would have messed out on my husband. He's the best thing that ever happened to me. I love the fuck out of my husband. He is my rock. My everything, okay? I wouldn't be where I am today without him. What if I would have turned my back and said, nigga, you work at Target. The fuck? Neglecting the fact that he was paying bills and shit with his Target money. Neglecting the fact that he was respecting me and loving me and taking care of me with his Target check. No, I peep game and say, you know what, if he's doing that now with that, oh man, I can't wait to continue to build with this man to see how far we can go. And now he's an owner of a gym. You know what I mean? That's beautiful. You know? Now I'm in a position where I don't have to work. That's beautiful, bro. And who knows? Maybe times will change and I might have to clock in again. Who knows? You know? And if that happens, fine. But the fact of the matter is, in the grand scheme of things, life is beautiful. And I'm very fortunate that I get to share that with such a beautiful man. You know what I mean? That loves me genuinely, that honors me, that respects me, that invests into me mentally, emotionally, financially, all of that. I don't have to clock in no more. What if I would have, I made more money than my man back then. I did. I'm like, I make more money than him. I got this going. I got my own place. He was just coming out of college. He didn't have nothing but 2 degrees and a wish. And then black women, when we're dealing with black men, y'all got to understand that they can't do the same things that other people can do too. And I'm going to leave on this note. So when it comes to black men, we have to understand that they're living in a system, in a society that's set up against them as well. They're not granted access to the same privileges and opportunities that their counterparts are. You know what I mean? Other races of men are. That's just facts. And so we better get behind a man that's good to us, that has a vision and is working towards that and is motivated and is ambitious. And you better get behind that. That's a leader. That's strong. That's powerful. You better get behind that. I don't care. I don't care if he got to clock in or not. You better get behind that, because that kind of shit is priceless. And it's only a matter of time before he's everything that you've envisioned in a man. You can't buy that. Because you can have a millionaire man and an entrepreneur and a CEO, and he don't have that drive. So he's going to lose it all tomorrow. He don't have that vision, so he don't even know where he's going tomorrow. But because he checked off that one box, I'm going to risk it all. No. Go after that man over there that may not have that one box, but he has all the other boxes, and he's working towards that one box that you looking at him for, and he's going to get there without a shadow of a doubt, because he does possess all of these qualities and characteristics that is going to propel him forward and you. No, you get with him. Right now, he's clocking in, but not for long. Right now, he's not a CEO, but not for long. And even if he never becomes a CEO, at least you have a good ass man that loves you, takes care of you, honors you, and fucking respects you. That's what matters. And with that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get my ass up off of here, because I already fucking feel like I talk too much, and I know YouTube be hating on me. Oh, shout out to you. How you say this? Mirstro Sweets, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Who else do I see? Oh man. Oh, I saw we had like $100 donation and I can't even find it because I've been talking too much. Y'all are so dope, bro. Thank you so much, you guys, for your donations, man. That means a lot to me. It really does. It really does. But shout out to you, Humble Warrior, for your $100 donation. He said, so far, I see you as a sane woman who don't enjoy seeing men suffering from false accusations, frivolous divorce rates, and other sickening stuff. As for me, I don't go around telling anyone what kind of man I am because I let them judge me while I keep moving forward. And that's all you should do. And again, thank you, Humble Warrior. I'm so mad I can't pull up y'all donations. There's a lot of people who donated today, and it won't show me. But I appreciate y'all so much. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I respect y'all. I've been on here for an hour, and so that's too long. 520 of us in the building right now. Thank you so much. Shout out to you, Wendell, for your donation. He says, these women be so vain, it blinds them, then want to talk bad about Jeezy because of him dating interracial. Yeah, and that's another conversation we need to have, because as far as the interracial dating conversation goes, it's a lot deeper than that, because again, it goes back to preference, and the why is the most important. Like, yeah, you can date interracial if that's your thing, you know, but don't shit on another race of people just because, you know, you prefer this. So with Young Jeezy, if he wants to date an Asian woman, that's fine. But don't make it a point to say, well, I like Asian women because they listen to their men and they're respectful, and black women don't do nothing, and black women are just angry and bitter and black. Don't do that. Don't overgeneralize like that, and don't shit on another party for your preference. All of us need to stop doing that. Okay? If you want to date an Asian or a Latino or a white woman or a man, whomever, do that because that's just genuinely what you want to do, and not because you want to spite somebody else or because you want to shit on somebody else in the process. You know, just love who you love and let that be that. But I gotta go, y'all. I've been talking too much, and I did not plan on going live today. I gotta get over here and make my oils. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Come back tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Central. We're gonna have a freebie Friday where I'm gonna let you guys actually video chat in and ask me questions. All right. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and come on back. Much love, peace. I love you so much.